What's goody, Shellitronnn here. You can call me Shells, and I'm back at it again with a brand new video, and today I have some more huge news for you. The Carolina Panthers are making some big moves right now. You can see the very first one right here from Adam Schefter saying Panthers informed starting safety Tre Boston today that they are releasing him per source. This to me is big news. I know to some Panthers fans, Tre Boston is a player who they never really showed enough love for. They never really had enough love for, I guess. In Tre Boston's first 2 years, I won't lie to you, this man was kind of a problem, okay? You knew he had skills. You knew he had the ability, but too often you saw him not playing his assignment. You saw him trying to go for big hits instead of wrapping up, and he would miss way too many tackles. You would see all them dreads flying, but he would not be hitting nobody. And it got so bad that Tre lost his starting spot on the squad 2 separate times while he was with us the first time after we drafted him, but he went on to have a pretty good couple of seasons right after that. You can see in his stats right here, he had a 1-year deal with the Chargers and a 1-year deal with the Cardinals. With the Chargers as a free safety, 8 passes defended, 79 combined tackles, a tackle for a loss, but he also had 5 interceptions. That's a pretty damn good season. That's like a top 10 free safety type numbers, even though the Chargers didn't have a great season that year. Then he goes on to the Cardinals in 2018. We understand what the Cardinals were back around that time. They were not a very good football team. But he did have another 79 combined tackle season, 9 passes defended, and he did have 3 interceptions. So from a purely numbers perspective, Tre Boston had 2 back-to-back 1-year prove-it deals where he did prove it. So we said, okay, look, we ain't looking too hot at the free safety spot. We had Mike Adams, Captain Munnerlyn playing the slot, and we all know if you have a 48-year-old Mike Adams paired up with Captain Munnerlyn on the same side of the field, your defense is going to have problems. So we brought back Tre Boston, and he had a couple of pretty decent years in 2019, and even last year, I would call it decent. Tre Boston's one of those players who is never going to, supremely surprise you and impress you and say, that guy is the reason we're going to win this game. But Tre Boston's I would call him a slightly above average, just about a guy who does his job. He won't be the reason you win games, but he'll also not be the reason why you lose games. Tre Boston will make mistakes, but he'll make up for them later on in the game, and it averages out to be about, just on that level where it's like, we can improve on this position, but it's probably not our top priority. And if Tre Boston is the top priority that you need to fix on your team must be really good, because Tre isn't horrible. He's just, all right, to the point where you can give or take having him, but if there are better options, you probably want to take them. But let's move on to this very next tweet from Phil Yates. He says, this move strikes me as likely to be a post-June 1st destination. Outright releasing Tre Boston will create just an $883,000 cap space in 2020, but a $5.33 in dead cap space. Using a post-June 1st designation will create $3.5 million in cap space for 2020. I'm thinking he means 2021, and spread the dead money over 2 years. That's obviously what you want to go ahead and do. And this opens up the cap to, make some moves. It is only $3.5 million, but the difference between $3.5 million and $883,000 is huge. So, Tre Boston, I didn't hate him. See, I actually like Tre Boston. I like how steady he was at free safety. My thought has been, look, we have so many holes in so many other places on defense that I'd rather fix those, and even on offense too, let's be real about that. I'd rather fix those holes before trying to go and find a replacement for Tre Boston, spend that money right there. But we also do understand that Tre Boston signed an extremely friendly team deal. He took way less than he was worth after his Chargers year, after his Cardinals year. The deal he took after that first year here, it felt kind of bad because you could tell he desperately wanted to play in Carolina, and I got love for that, but I'm also pro player. I want these guys to get paid. I want these dudes to make their money, and I always thought that Tre Boston proved he was worth a little bit more than the deal we were offering him. It is what it is, though. You got to think about the cap as the Panthers, and this strikes me as a move that could potentially be leaning toward another corresponding move sometime very, very soon. I would not be surprised if the Panthers are looking to, make a quick little move to say, maybe we didn't have enough money to lure this guy in, or maybe we didn't have enough money to pick up a free agent. But with this extra $3.5 million by cutting Tre Boston, it is what it is. So you still have to find a free safety that is a hole on the roster, and that could have been one less hole going into this year, but it seems pretty obvious to me the Panthers value that extra $3.5 million more so than having Tre Boston play that free safety position for one more year. This might give the team just that extra push they need to go out and sign a free agent. Maybe retain one of our guys, leaving maybe like Taylor Moton. Maybe you want to go ahead and keep Curtis Samuel. That could be something as well. But this could be to free up a little bit more cap space to say, hold up, maybe we're thinking about trading for a player. And this extra $3.5 million is going to help us pay that guy's salary. We'll have to keep an eye out for this stuff, but no, this is the first of what I think is going to be a lot more moves. But you want to go ahead and start gearing up for it now so you can show these dudes pursuing like, hey, look, we're very serious about picking you up. We just cut our starter free safety to make room for you on the squad. We need you, my brother. And that's what it's going to be, man. So Tre Boston, double salute to this man, man. I was one of the ones who I like Tre Boston. I know he makes mistakes, and Tre's going to make mistakes, okay? I understand what you're going to get from Tre Boston. You got to understand Tre is going to go for the big hits. Tre may not always 100% of the time be in position in coverage, but more often than not, he will make it up for you on the back end. So I always did have love for Tre Boston after he left us. I think he needed that time away to improve his game and, get more centered and whatnot. And he came back even better. And he always showed love to the city. He always had a house in Charlotte the whole time when he was in LA and when he was in Arizona. So that's cool too. Tre Boston, got a lot of respect for you, man. Got a lot of love for you. You're always going to be a Panther no matter where you go, my brother. So, Tre, I hope you find a team that's going to get you what you want, going to get you what you need. I think you definitely will deserve to be. He'll be on the team soon. I think Tre Boston will get signed in this offseason, no doubt about it. I am very excited to see what this team does. This isn't just a cut of some backup player or like a punter or something. This is our starting free safety. You have to make a pretty big move, or at least a sizable move, if you're going to cut Tre Boston. I want to see what it's going to be. That's how I feel about it, man. What are y'all's thoughts on Tre Boston, the move to cut him? Would you have done it? What do you think this signifies for the team? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Being told y'all I been the man. Being told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.